Hi YouTube, it's White. I'm gonna be sharing a dream with you guys that I had 4 days ago. So 4 days ago, I had a zombie dream. And in this zombie dream, it was me, um, my friend Richard, you guys know him on YouTube as Eyes Open in California, and a group of like remaining survivors. This was in the zombie apocalypse. Now in this dream, we were on like the top of an unfinished building. It was very tall. And there was all this like construction stuff laying around. And we were running at the start of the dream. It was sunny outside. We were running from this huge horde of zombies. They were sprinting. They were very, very fast. And in the dream, we were shooting back at them and we were climbing these ladders up the building. And the zombies were climbing as well. And I was like, these zombies are freaking crazy. They were like athletic, super fast, super strong. Basically, they were so crazy. I would imagine that most people aren't going to survive this. It was that bad. Down the stream, I was running, and the scene cut, and me, Richard, and the group of survivors, we were in this like fortress that was built, this building that was made into like a zombie headquarters fortress place. And there was like bars over the windows and like wood barricades. Like this place was super secure, basically. And in the dream, we were running from this horde and we ran through the door and we locked this door, and there was like reinforcements and stuff. And there was all these zombies outside like banging on the building, but they couldn't get in. So we were fine. Now in the dream, I saw something very interesting. I said something very interesting. So in this survivor compound place that we were in, there was all these people that were all strapped down to like these beds, and they had like leather straps for their arms and legs. And all these people were insane. Like they were psychotic and mentally insane, and they were just rambling off these psychotic ramblings of whatever. They were extremely aggressive and extremely psychotic, and they were saying stuff like, oh, I just want to hurt people, and I just want to like kill people, and I want to destroy this and destroy that and destroy everything and hurt everybody. And in the dream, I was sitting in a chair by one of the beds that the people were strapped down onto. And there was a bunch of beds, a lot of people strapped down to these beds. And it's like in the dream, they were all connected. And they were all just as crazy and psychotic as each other. It was like they were all connected, and they all wanted to hurt us people, us remaining survivors. They didn't want to hurt the zombies. They want to hurt us. And they weren't even aware that the zombie apocalypse was going on right outside. They weren't conscious. And in the dream, one of the people in the bed, they were reaching their hand at my rifle that was by the bed, and they tried to lift up my rifle and pointed at me, and I grabbed it, and they wanted to kill me in the dream. And in the dream, the next scene, I walked up to Richard, my friend, and I told him, I said, these people are freaking crazy. And he said, dude, I know. They're gone. Like their mind is gone. And in the dream, I said this. I said, it's because they took one jab. You know what? They took one jab and they went crazy. Now, the reason why is because their pineal gland and their brain is fully calcified. It's destroyed. It's gone. So all the functions that a normal person would have, because of their like every person that has a fully functioning pineal gland, it's responsible for certain brain functions, and theirs is destroyed. And they can't regulate their mood. They can't do things that normal people could do, and they weren't even consciously aware of what was going on around them. All they wanted to do is destroy things. They were psychotic. And they weren't even consciously aware that there was zombies outside. All they wanted to do was kill people. They wanted to kill people. They didn't want to, they didn't even know there were zombies outside. That's how unaware they were. They weren't there anymore. They weren't like, they were gone. They were mentally gone. Now, God showed my friend Richard, and he showed me too, that people that took one jab are not going to become zombies. But people that took 2 or more are going to become zombies. And my friend, he had a dream where he heard a voice from the sky say, with each jab, so 2 jabs will turn a person into a zombie, and with each jab comes an increased level of zombification. So people that took 1 jab, they're going to start crashing out, and they already are in real life because their pineal gland is calcified, it's destroyed. But anybody that took 2 or more is going to become a zombie. And then with each jab comes an increased level of zombification. Now in real life, this is happening. People that took the jab, people that took any jab, they took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, they're all going to crash out. But I dreamt in the future, the 5G towers, they're microwave weapons. And I saw in my dream, I even explained this to someone in my dream. I said, in the future, the world governments and all the elite people, they're going to like hit their big red button on the 5G towers, and it's going to send out a pulse. And I made this sound in my dream when I was explaining the pulse. I said, the 5G towers are going to pulse, and it's going to send out a electromagnetic pulse, and it's going to activate the jab that's in people. So the jab that everybody took, it has metal, also known as graphite oxide, which is also nanotechnology. It's going to activate that inside of them, and it's going to turn everybody that took 2 or more jabs into zombies. But everybody that took 1 or more jabs, they're not going to be a zombie. But everybody that took the jab before the pulse, they're going to start crashing out. I dreamt of society in the future. Everybody's going to be psychotic, and they're going to be crashing out. And I call them the jabbed crash outs. Now in the future, when the zombie apocalypse starts after the 5G towers pulse, everybody that took 2 or more jabs, they're going to be zombies. But the people that took 1 jab, it's not going to be a high enough dosage of metal, also known as graphene oxide, nanotechnology, to turn them into zombies. So they are going to remain human, but since their pineal gland is fully calcified, it's destroyed, they're just going to continue crashing out until the end of time, until they get killed, until a person kills them, or until maybe a zombie bites them, or turns them into a zombie themselves, or they get eaten. So God showed me this in my dream. Anybody that took 1 jab is going to crash out, and they're going to crash out forever. It's going to be irreversible. And in the dream, we had all these people strapped down in the survivor headquarter place, and we strapped them down because they were too dangerous to be allowed to run around freely. But since they were also humans still, they weren't zombies, we had to do the most humane thing by keeping them strapped down and feeding them and stuff, but also not opening the doors and letting the zombies get to them. You understand? So yeah, everybody that took a jab is going to start crashing out, but those that took 1 are going to remain human, and they're just going to keep crashing out until the end of time, until they die, basically, because their pineal gland is destroyed and their brain is just fried. So they're just going to be extremely psychotic, and every urge that they have, they're not going to be able to control any urges that they have. They're going to act on every urge imaginable. And anybody that took 2 or more jabs, they're going to become zombies. And and then any remaining people are just going to have to fight the zombies off until the last day on Earth. Because me and my friend Richard, we both dreamt of being alive on the last day on Earth, and there were zombies. So when the 5G towers pulse, and all the people turn to zombies, when the zombie apocalypse starts, it's going to last until the last day on Earth. The reason why is because 60% or maybe even more of the world population took 2 or more jabs. So that's going to be too many zombies to fight off with the remains of the unjabbed population. Like the amount of unjabbed people are not going to be able to fight off every single jab person that's going to be a zombie. You understand? We're going to be outnumbered. That's why it's going to last until the very last day on earth. And I dreamt of being alive on the very last day on earth. So did Richard. You guys know him on YouTube as Eyes Open California. And yeah, this is basically just going to go on until the last day. And that's what God showed me. So everybody that took one jab is going to crash out until the end of time, unless they die or get killed. And that's what I dreamt. So do with this information what you must. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. God bless you.